It's Moreno Valley updates for June 2nd to June 8th. This is Steve.
This is Danny.
And this is Tyler.
Oop, I wasn't ready to flip, was I? Driver of the week, we're going to go with Mirsad Pelik. He is out in Buckeye, which used to be Tonopah. He does relay. And Mirsad has been with CPC since July of 2007. Not quite as long as you, Danny, but that's a while.
Almost 2 years.
Have you ever met him? Probably.
A couple of times, yeah.
Yeah. For our new hires, we didn't have anybody start last week. It was a short week and some other things going on, but I don't think I'm going to do orientation for a few people. There's actually a guy here doing orientation right now. His name is Michael Flood. Going to do some orientations during the week. Not entirely sure when they're going to start, but we'll talk about them next week. For birthdays, we got Kevin Perry on May 5th and Veselin Veslinov. Kevin is in Salt Lake City. Veselin Veslinov on May 5th. Also, I would venture to guess that Veselin is much older than Kevin. But Veselin is, he does relay out of Buckeye. For our anniversaries, I missed one last week, and she sent me a text message reminding me because I had also missed her birthday. Shannon Rayborn, she hit her 1 year on May 21st. That's not the only thing she hit. She hit a fire hydrant, too.
Yeah, throw it out there. Huh?
Shannon is in Buckeye. And Jesse Wells hit 8 years today. So congratulations. We go to weather, Los Angeles. Low chance of rain. A little bit of wind, not too bad, but looks like high 70s, so not too bad for the week. Partly cloudy, should be enjoyable. I'm sure there's a lot of people here that want to see the sun out so they can go to the beach, but right. Not me. Las Vegas, 0% chance of rain and over 100 every day. Looking at 110 at the end of the week. So very hot. For Phoenix, 0% chance of rain and over 100 every day. So hydrate. Make sure you're cooling down, all the tips that we talked about previously. Salt Lake City, low percent chance of rain, and Salt Lake City getting in the 90s at the end of the week. So they have been nice and cool and cloudy, but now here it comes. Here comes the heat. I've never been to Salt Lake in the summer. Guess I wasn't aware it got that warm. For injuries this week, I don't think we had any. Is that right, Tyler?
Yeah, no injuries.
For our accidents, we had 2 this week. I believe that was 2, right?
Yeah, essentially 2.
We had a driver. He was on the highway in stop traffic. He got distracted by something, and he rolled backwards and bumped into the car behind him. There's not a whole lot to say about that, but just that tiny bit of distraction. Danny, you were talking about, was that you talking about how the trucks, the newer ones, have kind of an anti-rollback on them?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the brand new ones do. I believe the ones with the 6-digit numbers do.
You have to. It doesn't automatically do it when you just push on the brake, right? Or does it?
Yeah, if you release the brake, it'll stay still for a few seconds before it starts rolling.
But it won't roll backwards?
No.
Okay.
At least from my knowledge, no.
But the older ones, they will roll backwards a little bit.
The older ones do.
I believe that they had that safety function in them, but I didn't think it just doesn't work that well. Or maybe it rolls a little bit first before it tries to stop. But at any rate, when you're on the highway and you know, when you're in traffic, that's a prime opportunity to, if you get distracted, hitting the car in front of you, hitting the car behind you. So it may be tempting when you're stopped to look at that phone or whatever, but that's not a good time. For our other accident, what we have is, I believe the driver high hooked. And that's the picture here. He high hooked, went around the corner, trailer came off. It would have fallen all the way over had the landing gear not caught the tire. Have you ever high hooked one?
No. I always double check my. Every
I mean,
time I hook, I always double check it, make sure I'm right in there.
I've high hooked, but I didn't drive off. And I went back there and looked, and I was like, "Oh, this is in the wrong spot."
Yeah.
So, checking that fifth wheel, it doesn't take long, and the odds that you high hook something are they're not that great. But this trailer had what do you call it? It fell over.
Nosedive.
It took a nosedive. And so it had to get some forklifts, had to get it back up. And what I think happened is when they got it back up, it was a little bit higher than normal. They had to move product around, things like that. So it was higher than normal. So when the driver went under it, he was just expecting it to be at the level of all the other trailers.
Right.
But I think it was a little bit higher and went right over and just had that kingpin on the, actually not in, but on the front of the fifth wheel, and go around a corner and off it came. Tyler, you want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, the biggest thing for me was just, the accidents this week were coming off the holiday weekend, and both seem to be just, small mistakes of drivers losing focus. Is the same one for the one on the freeway. It was, a moment of losing focus, not paying attention to your equipment while you're driving, and rolled back into another car. This one was, moving too quick, not paying attention, not taking that extra step to double check your fifth wheel, and results in an accident. So biggest thing with, this being a holiday weekend, another one probably coming up for 4th of July. I believe you guys get that off. Just make sure you're staying focused coming off these weekends. Make sure your head's in the game and you're double checking, doing what you're supposed to do, paying attention to your equipment while you're driving.
Let's go to Smart Drive. I'll leave that up to you, Tyler.
Yeah, Smart Drive, kind of same thing. It was kind of sporadic this week, so I think it was a big symptom of coming off the holiday weekend where, some of the highlights were videos where I had to work with drivers to make sure they could see the videos because they almost didn't believe them. I had, a couple guys blow red lights and swore there's no way they blew a red light until they watched the video. Watched the video and they're like, "Oh, I did blow a red light." I'm like, "You straight blew through a red light and almost T-boned a car, and then you yelled at the car because you thought you had the right of way." So big thing, you just got to stay focused. Do the same thing with seatbelts. We had a few seatbelt violations where, guys drove good distances without seatbelts on, didn't even realize they didn't have them on. Didn't realize till they saw the video that they didn't have it on coming all the way back to the DC. So comes back to, not losing focus coming off those weekends.
Yeah, it's a good point. Get a few days off, get out of the mode. I think a lot of things in truck driving, Indiana, you do this too. Like you have a set, like system, or you do these things in order and you go through it. And whenever that gets interrupted, then it's easy to, forget, oh, which step was I on? Oh, maybe I was over here, and then something gets forgotten. I mean, I've done it. When you're going through your process and you get interrupted, then it's probably the best thing to do is just start all over.
Right.
Let's go back to okay, let me start at this step, that's on this end. Okay, this is where I was at.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming off those weekends, just work to get back into a tight routine to avoid those small mistakes happening. can turn around and result in, a bad accident or a bad injury, which is not what we want.
And we've been pretty good. We had not had any preventable accident like on the highway for quite a while. So, I mean, we've been pretty good. So we want to stay on top of that. Those are things that cost a lot of money, have the biggest impact. Why isn't this going? All right, let's go to announcements. There's still the Luma training that's out there. I mentioned this before, but I'll bring it up because people may not be checking or they think they're done or whatever, but everyone who does any work in California has to do the California harassment training. If you go in and look, I assigned it to, so if you're in Las Vegas and you're in Phoenix, there's some of you do come here to California, but there's a possibility that you might. So everybody who comes here, or there's a possibility they may come here, it's been assigned to them. So the California one. There's also the heat-related illness training. There are a few people hanging around out there who haven't done it yet. And looking at these temperatures, it is going to be hot. I forgot to delete that. What was the other thing? We talked about it during the week. Tyler, you got anything else to add? Maybe I'll remember.
No, I don't think I had anything else to add that I can think of. Mine was mainly just the smart drive and the accidents this week. We did good on injuries. Nothing too catastrophic with the accidents. They were both pretty straightforward accidents.
Procter & Gamble. Checking in.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I haven't picked up a P&G probably in the last 4 or 5 months. I have a driver out there. I just sent him a code. I guess they're using tablets now for the drivers to check in. They're supposed to go into the office, the shipping office first, check in a tablet, and they're going to ask you for your carrier number, which is going to be 7WLG. You check in, and then you go back to the guard, and then he'll check the trailer. I believe that's what the process is. Some of you probably are doing it already, especially all the extra board drivers that are here doing local backhauls. I'm pretty sure they already know what's going on. But some of the guys that haven't been there, that's something that P&G is doing now. You check it in through the tablets.
Right. So the extra board guys, they kind of do that all the time. They're on top of it. But if you have your route canceled out of here and they have you do backhauls, you want to keep that in mind that they did change that process. That was just Procter & Gamble, right?
Yeah, just P&G.
All right. That's all I have for this week. Tyler, you want to add anything?
No. I mean, actually, there's one thing I would add. It's actually a lesson from Enrique Garcia. Some of you guys might know him. He used to be the safety guy there at Walgreens. But they had that incident over on our P&G account. Just a reminder for everybody: make sure you practice or review if you don't know how to transmit logs. They had a DOT preventable over there, and that's something they had a little issue with the DOT getting frustrated with the driver not knowing how to transfer logs right away. So if that's something you don't know how to do, make sure you know how to do it. Reach out if you don't know how to do it. So I'll work with Enrique the next week or two and try to make a little tutorial for everybody and send it out. But always make sure, God forbid it ever happens, but always be prepared for the worst situations.
I actually, I do have a tutorial that Kurt Ryan, operations manager in Windsor, Wisconsin, made that's pretty good. I think I'll go ahead and send out a link for that. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's perfect. Save me some time then.
That's all I have.
Yeah, that was all I had. Just thought it was good. Something for people to always keep in mind. People don't always think about the worst case scenarios, but unfortunately, sometimes you don't ask for them and they're just there. You got to make sure you're prepared.
Yeah. Before I forget, I did. Driver had issues with the rollers. I guess he was missing a roller from his trailer. Just a quick reminder: if you're a pedal driver and you're missing a roller, put a note on the trailer, and that way your relay knows, when he comes in, he can put one, or he can get it from the spotter or get it from the fuel island. If you're local, just put it in. If there's missing a roller, just put it in before you drop that trailer. That way, all the trailers have the required rollers that's supposed to have. That's all I got.
All right. Have a good week.